G'day and welcome to Small Steps Through Life. Today we're in some bush in Bryan in Texas, and that's been quite busy for me, so I'm going to take a break. And the break is going to be a podcast that is just for fun. And I've been thinking more about the seed series. Hopefully you've seen the first parts. That'll help you understand that there's an area where a little girl has planted a seed and it's grown into a treehouse. And I wonder what happens next. Should we find out? So, while sitting in her treehouse, looking out, she's sitting on some of the branches that have formed a seat. And she's looking down and thinking, I wonder who's going to visit. And as she looks out, she sees a black and white critter. It's got a long, fluffy tail that floats in the breeze. A little sniffy nose that comes along and climbs up one of the sloping branches up onto the platform. And at first, the little girl was apprehensive. She's heard about these critters. She watches it wags its tail, and she wonders what should she do. And so she just sat there watching. And as she watched, a whole lot more of the critters appeared from behind a tree, but these were much smaller. And they all trundled along and followed the same path up onto the treehouse. They all sniffed around, and one of them even came up and rubbed against her foot. The bigger critter just watched, seeing what was happening. And the little girl, her toes were tickling, but she didn't want to move because these were skunks. And she'd heard that if you surprise them, they might surprise you back. And so she didn't move. Her toes tickled, her eyes watered, and still she sat still. But this wasn't enough for the little skunks, because another one came up and rubbed against her other foot. She was struggling to keep her toes from moving. She was starting to giggle as a third one came up and brushed against the bottom of her foot. She so wanted to jerk it back. But, as I said, she'd heard about skunks. And as she watched, she looked over to the side and saw that the mama skunk was maybe snickering. And she wondered whether mama skunk knew something that she didn't. And she watched as all the baby skunks came up and brushed against her feet. And by now, tears are streaming down her face. This was so tickly. And she slowly moved back, and they slowly moved forward. She wasn't going to get away that easy. And now, Mama Skunk was indeed grinning. The baby skunks, well, they were being so smoochy with the little girl's feet. And she finally twitched. Mama Skunk watched, and the baby skunks just twitched with her. They moved closer and closer. They didn't seem to be in the least bit disturbed. Mama Skunk was watching, smiling, and I think by this stage she was very happy with where her skunks were, where her babies were, and with the little girl's reaction. And so the little girl couldn't help avoiding it. She was moving backwards, and she finally slipped off the seat and went plump on the platform of the treehouse. The skunks moved away a bit and then moved and swamped her. One sat on her tummy. A couple went over and sniffed at her fingers. And she just kind of lay there, smiling, looking up at the sky. And as she did, she saw a big mama skunk come over and kind of grin in her face. And then there was a little noise from the mama skunk, and all the baby skunks formed a line and followed her down onto the ground and disappeared into the forest again. The little girl picked herself up, brushed herself off, and thought that was certainly a surprising amount of fun and a little bit, well, she'd felt pretty apprehensive. But now she thought she's got some friends, the skunks, and maybe they'll turn up again. Or maybe some other critters will turn up. I wonder what'll happen in the future. Hope you've enjoyed. I'll catch you